Success Club 10, the first 15 days of the month. So the month is only half over and you're already in Success Club 10. Would you like that? Today is the first day of the month. If you're watching this video today, it's the first day, but pick a day, any day, and within that 15-day window, be in Success Club 10. So if that interests you, stick around. I'm going to give you the game plan for exactly how to do that. Now, I tested this last month. I got started on the 1st. I was actually in Success Club 10 by the 10th day of the month. But in all fairness, some of those points came from invitations that I sent prior months, and they just happen to be ready now. So that's one big reason to be consistent month after month, year after year, right? But as far as new people that I had just talked to for like the first time, invited for the first time, of those people, I actually tracked that. And those points totaled in 10 by day 15 at about the halfway point. And guess what? It only took 3 invitations a day. It was tough to not do more than 3 because, you know, in the game plan, I'm like, okay, do 10 to 20, maybe 5 to 20, somewhere in there a day. But I've recently done some massive upgrades to the invitation processes, so make sure you've got the brand new ones. And it's all by, you know, Melanie Mitra. I've studied her like I would a PhD because she's the top coach right now. So she's the person to study more than anyone, in my opinion. And she gets an average of more than 1 enrollment a day. Can you imagine that? I mean, some of you struggle getting 2 or 3 or 5 a month, and she gets an average of 35 a month from the last I heard. So after studying her massive upgrades, and the quality of the invitation process now is so good that I was able to get into Success Club 10 just from new people I invited within the first 15 days. And as you do this month after month, you'll be in Success Club 10, you know, from the residuals from people that are now suddenly ready that weren't ready last month or the month prior or the year prior, that, you know, suddenly that they become ready. I've been in Success Club 10 the first day of the month before. Imagine that. That's 5 enrollments in one day. It happens. But here's the game plan for exactly how to do this. So first, make sure you've got the most updated copy of the invitation processes. If you're not sure where to get them, please ask. I'm going to have them linked in this video, in the description area of this video, so look at that. And that's going to be linked to the most updated. And if you're unsure, just ask, because you got to have those. Otherwise, it might take you a lot more than 3. Who knows? So that's step number 1. Do that. Pause this video if you have to first to get it, and then continue. So I'll wait. Oh, wait. Okay, good. Now we continue. So the next part of this is going to be dedicate yourself to sending 3 invitations every day. I wrote it down. I actually had a pad of paper and the day of the month, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 30 or 31 or whatever. And I would put 3 tally marks. Okay, 1, 2, 3, after I would send out 3 invitations to people. And I would invite people that were interacting with me on my timeline. Like, share, comment, whatever. And, you know, these are people that they already have somewhat of a favorable feeling for me, some more than others. But just the fact that they're interacting on my timeline means that they're not a total stranger or friends. At least they're familiar with me on some kind of a level in a favorable way. So that's my reason for that. And then there's also some people I invited that I haven't seen them interact with me. I don't know if they have or if they haven't, and I don't really know them. I've got 5,000 friends on Facebook. Most of them are more like acquaintances. I don't like really personally know them, but I can invite them, and you know what? It still works out pretty good. I just feel that it's a little better if you invite somebody that is already familiar with you and has a favorable opinion of you, even if it's just, you know, a little bit. So there's that. Okay, so that's the first part of your game plan, after you have the updated processes for inviting people. So you copy paste step 1 of the invitation process to 3 people a day. Just commit yourself to doing that. Decide you're going to do that before you even get started, and then just do it every day starting today. The next part of this, every day I made sure I had attractive content published on my timeline. And to get ideas for that, I'm not going to go into the training in this video. I've got tons of other trainings. If you're not familiar with them, please ask, and I will send you an entire video playlist that I made. Dozens of short little digestible little videos of different ways you can put attractive content on your timeline to help create that eager desire in people to want to know more about you, and actually developing a relationship with all these people on a one-to-many model, which is a huge time saver. So if you don't have that playlist, and you're confused on how to share attractive content on your timeline, please ask me. I'll share it with you. Okay, so we got those 2 things so far after you get the most updated processes. 3 invitations a day, copy paste step 1 from the updated invitation process, and attractive content on your timeline every day. All right, now the next thing is going to be, this is the part where, just being honest, most of you are going to blow it in this part, but personal development. I spend at least 10-15 minutes a day on personal development. Lately, for me, it's been watching videos by like Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, and maybe Todd Falcone, and people like that. And you can read books. Whatever your learning style is, whatever you absorb the most from, and whatever inspires you to take action the most, you do that. Right now, for me, it's watching videos, audio in your car, books, seminars, webinars, whatever. Just make sure that you're doing it, because that's all going to shape your amazing brain, and it's going to bring more of your true authentic self out of you in a very attractive way. And that really is that's like the most important thing of all of this. And that's the one thing that most people neglect. It still makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. In fact, the only reason people don't make it in this business is because they are just completely flippin' lazy when it comes to developing their amazing brain. Most people skip that part. And because of that kind of laziness, even people that are very busy in the action plan stuff, like inviting and developing new contacts and this and that, they're just so lazy in developing themselves. So none of that other stuff can work, because they don't get any better at it, because they don't develop their brain to get better at it. So that's the part you need to take the most seriously. And then as you work harder developing your brain, as you work harder doing the actual profitable activities, the profitable activities becomes even more profitable, because you're working hard to develop your brain too. And even if it's just a few minutes a day, it makes all the difference in the world. So don't neglect that. Okay. And then the other thing, this is going to be a little different for all of you. Now, let's say you've got, 5,000 friends like I do. Then maybe you don't need to focus so much on developing new contacts. That's a major part of the daily core of activities, developing new contacts all the time, right? But if you just want to focus on Success Club for half the month, and then the other half of the month develop a bunch of new contacts, you can do that. But if you are a person that does not have a lot of contacts, you don't have a lot of friends yet, you're wondering, gosh, who can I invite? I've only got a couple hundred people or whatever as Facebook friends and this and that. Then you need to spend most of your time developing new contacts for sure, and build up your network. Rich people, really rich people, build networks, big networks. They start from, even if it's from scratch, they build very large networks. So you need to build a huge network, and even if you've already got a huge network, you need to still be building it and developing new contacts every day, no matter where you're at. But if you're at a point now where it's like the beginning of building your network, then you need to talk to at least 20 people a day. I'm not going to get into the training of that on this video, but I've got another playlist on just developing new contacts, making new friends, expanding your network. So if you don't know where that playlist is, please let me know. I've got a dozen or so videos in that one, short, digestible, little ones of different things you can do to develop new contacts, because that has to be something you do every day. And so yeah, that's it. So that is the game plan. Success Club, your first 15 days. If you've been doing this for a while, you might get it your first 10 days from people that were not ready last month or the month before or the year before, who knows. But gosh, 15 days, that's pretty sweet. Just by inviting 3 people a day. Now, what I would like you to do is actually invite 4 people a day. Why do I say that? Because I'm a little more skilled, only because I've been doing this since August of 2007. So a really long time. So what you lack in skill, make up for in numbers in the beginning. Then as you get better at this, you could do less numbers and still get the same kind of result, or even bigger result. Imagine having more growth, faster growth, doing less work, because you're getting more skilled. But in the beginning, typically, it's a pretty important philosophy in the beginning, got to make up a number what you lack in skill. But because this is all scripted out, and this particular process updated, the newest one that I have is so unbelievably good, I don't think you'll have to increase your number that much. So instead of the 3 that I did, do 4. Do 4 invitations a day. And if you really want to go all out, do 5. Okay, and here's the last part of this. Because I only did 3 a day, when I'm doing 5, 10 to 20 a day, I don't follow up with people that don't write back, because there would be no time for that. It's like when you do 10, 20 a day, you cross the threshold and you no longer have time to write everybody back who didn't respond to the initial invitation. So I just don't. I don't even consider them a lead until they write back with some kind of interest they've expressed to want to know more. But when I was only doing 3 a day, I decided, okay, I'm going to follow up with everybody, including the ones that didn't write back. So I did. And it only took like an extra minute out of my day to do that. I would follow up like 24 hours later. So the next day, everyone that did not write back, I would simply say, hey, I wrote you yesterday. Are you okay? Or I would say, hey, I wrote you yesterday. Did Facebook get hungry and eat the message? And sometimes I'd get a chuckle out of that and they'd laugh. And it's a loud garbage truck. Hopefully that doesn't come through too strong in this video. Okay, so then I would only do one more follow-up. So people get 2 follow-ups. If they still didn't write, then the next day, so now we're 48 hours later, I would say, hey, I wrote you a couple times over the past couple of days. Are you just really busy, or did I say something that terribly upset or offend you? Do me a favor and let me know that you're okay. Remember that one. That's a great one. A lot of times people will write you back then. And they'll either say, things are not okay, an emergency happened, or or who knows. But, sometimes that happens, and that's why you don't want to just, assume that people are blowing you off or that they're being jerks or anything like that, because you don't know what's going on. Maybe they did, and sometimes people write back and they really did have something horrible that came up in their lives. Or maybe sometimes somebody might be upset and they might level with you. Who knows? You just don't know. So that's why I don't assume. And there's a lot of people that just never see it because they never check. They got Messenger installed on their phone. They never use a computer anymore, and who knows. But that's why you got to be consistent in sending at least 3, 4, 5 every day, because a lot of people aren't going to see it. A lot of people aren't going to write back. A lot of people aren't going to be interested. So that's why you got to do these in numbers like this, so that you can find the ones that are interested, like organically, right? So that's what that means. So the whole follow-up process is 1 day later, hey, I wrote you yesterday. Are you okay? Or, hey, I wrote you yesterday. Did you get it, or did Facebook get hungry and eat it? And sometimes they might laugh. And then one more follow-up. If they still ain't followed, if they've still not written me back, they only get one more. And I'll say, hey, I've written you a couple times over the past couple days. Are you okay, or did I say something that terribly upset or offend you? Do me a huge favor. Let me know that you're okay. And a lot of times that's when they'll write back and they'll say, most of the time it's, you're fine, Tom. No, just been real busy. It's like, okay, cool. Then it's like, okay, well, if you'd like, I can reach back out to you in a couple weeks if you're really busy right now, and if it's a better time, we can talk. How's that sound? And usually almost every single time, yeah, that would be great. Thanks so much. I got a lot going on. A couple weeks is great. And then I put them in my calendar for follow-up a couple weeks from then. So that's a really the follow-up process does not get any simpler, and it only takes a couple seconds. It is so cool. So that is the whole game plan. And then, of course, when people write back expressing interest, I just follow the sequential steps in the invitation process, and do this with your coach if you're confused or you're not sure how to use that process or what to say to people. Just do it with your leadership. Do it with me. Do it with somebody, so that you're not doing it by yourself, not knowing what to do. All right, so a quick review of that whole thing of getting into Success Club 10 within the first 15 days of new people. Oh man, that's so cool. Okay, so get the most updated processes. The invitation processes, have that first. Invite not 3, but 4. Make up in number what you lack in skill. So send out 4 invitations a day. Personal development every day. Develop new contacts every day. Share attractive content on your timeline every day. And for all these things, I've got dedicated playlists consisting of short, digestible little videos of different ways to do all of these things. So ask for any of them if you would like them. I will be more than happy to show you them. It also counts as your personal development too, by the way. And what was the last one? Oh yeah, follow up. The follow-up is pretty simple. People that don't write back, 24 hours later, hey, I wrote you yesterday, are you okay? Or, hey, I wrote you yesterday, did Facebook get hungry and eat it? And then one more follow-up if they still ain't written back the next day, so 48 hours later, hey, I wrote you back a couple times, or hey, I wrote you a couple times the last couple of days, are you okay? Or did I say something that terribly upset or offend you? Please let me know that you are okay. So that's it. That's the whole thing. Get into Success Club. Commit to being here a year from now and working this thing every single day. And eventually you'll get to some point where you no longer have to work this thing every single day, and it will grow on its own momentum with or without your involvement. But you have to make that upfront investment of your time before you earn the right to have that kind of absolute 100% freedom. And your wealth is going to be measured in terms of your time, not your money, but it's the money type that is passive, that will be passive eventually, that will give you your entire freedom to spend your life doing whatever the heck you want. All right? Run with this, coaches. Can't wait to hear the results. Bye for now.